接下来有请中华人民共和国工业和信息化节能与综合利用司副市长丁柱军先生上台演讲。
尊敬的于慧文副部长、张淑芬总裁、谢展环局长、女士们、先生们，大家上午好！很高兴能够参加2025年香港国际环保展览会。在此呢，我仅代表工业和信息化部节能与综合利用司，对博览会的召开表示热烈的祝贺，也借此机会呢，对长期以来关心和支持中国工业绿色低碳发展的国内外朋友们表示衷心的感谢。生态环境是人类生存和发展的根基，保持良好的生态环境呢，是各国人民的共同心愿。党的18大以来，习近平主席鲜明提出了新发展理念，指出要深入推进生态文明建设和绿色低碳发展，加快建设美丽中国。工业和信息化部深入贯彻习近平生态文明思想，全力推进我们工业和信息化领域的降碳减污扩绿增长，建成了全球最大、最完整的新能源产业链。规模以上工业以年均3.1的能耗增速，支撑了年均5.9的增加值增长，为全球的可持续发展提供了中国的样板。一是绿色能源的应用更加广泛，可再生能源装机占比由40%提升到60%左右。那么全社会的用电量中，每3度电就有1度是绿电。目前，中国的246个国家级的绿色数据中心使用的电力有1半以上是绿电。氢能在钢铁、石化等行业的应用呢，也得到了突破。我们100万吨级的氢冶金、30万吨级的绿色合成氨实现了全流程的工艺贯通。二是绿色制造的体系更加完善，我们累计培育的国家级绿色工厂6430家，产值占制造业的总产值的比重超过了20%。在绿色制造体系的引领带动下，涌现了一批能效、水效的领跑者。一些企业的技术装备水平已经走在了全球的前列。三是绿色产业的优势呢更加凸显，我们的新能源汽车、我们的锂电池、光伏、风电和环保装备等绿色低碳产业发展迅速，市场规模持续保持全球领先，在形成增长新动能的同时呢，也为全球的绿色转型做出了重要的贡献。培育壮大绿色低碳产业是当今时代科技革命和产业变革的方向，也是塑造产业竞争新优势的必然选择。过去的10多年，中国出现了一个很大的变化，就是我们一大批的绿色低碳产业在超预期的快速崛起。那么这种快速崛起呢，不单有效支撑了国民经济保持一定速度的稳定增长，同时呢，也全面支撑了我们打好污染防治攻坚战和美丽中国建设。我们的节能装备、节水装备和环保装备制造业作为绿色低碳产业的重要组成部分，是推动经济高质量发展和生态环境高水平保护双赢的重要产业。今年的3月份，工信部联合其他相关部门印发了促进环保装备制造业高质量发展的若干意见，进一步巩固提升环保装备全产业链的竞争优势，充分发挥环保装备在绿色制造工程体系中的重要作用和综合效益，在更高水平上支撑经济社会的高质量发展。那么近期呢，今年年底之前，工业和信息化部还将会同有关部门发布节能装备高质量发展的实施方案和节水装备高质量发展的实施方案。这2个实施方案都是面向15，也就是未来的5年，我们如何提升装备自主创新能力，构建从基础的原材料到终端消费品的装备供给体系。 下一步呢，我们将实施重大的环保技术装备3年提升行动，努力打造具有万亿级规模的、具有国际竞争力的产业。一是持续的实施环保装备制造业的规范管理，积极营造稳定的产业和投资政策环境，分城市打造一批环保装备领域的专精特新小巨人企业和制造业的单项冠军企业，引导生产要素向优势企业的聚集。二是推动科技创新和产业创新深度融合，依托于中国超大规模市场、完备的产业体系、应用场景丰富的独特优势，通过接板挂帅的方式呢，推动关键技术装备研发攻关和产业化应用，同时在全国因地制宜地建设一批零碳工业园区和零碳工厂。三是提升环保装备的国际影响力和竞争力，推动优势装备走出去。昨天抵港之后呢，我就去中华煤气做了一个调研，在氢能应用等这些方面做了很好的交流。我也深信香港能够在我们这个产业国际化、国际合作方面呢，可以发挥更好的作用。本次博览会呢，以绿色科技引领零碳未来为主题，彰显了特区政府推动绿色低碳转型发展的决心和定力，有助于粤港澳大湾区城市实现减污降碳协同增效，共同推进粤港澳美丽大湾区的建设。女士们、先生们，践行绿色发展理念，推动经济社会的可持续发展，需要我们共同的努力。香港国际环保的博览会为各方搭建了很好的交流平台，有效促进了各领域的环保交流合作。期待呢各方能够携手共进，加强合作，共筑生态文明之基，共走绿色发展之路，为应对全球气候变化、建设美丽清洁的世界做出积极的贡献。预祝这次大会取得圆满的成功，谢谢大家。
谢谢丁副市长，请到台下就座。May we now invite His Excellency Mr. King Mong-yi, Union Minister of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation, Myanmar. His Excellency Mr. King Mong-yi, please.
Your Excellency, Mr. Shi Jin-wan, Secretary for Environment and Ecology of the Hong Kong SAR Government, Your Excellency, Mr. Yu Hui-wan, Member of the Leading Party Members Group, Vice Minister for the Ministry of Ecology and Environment of the People's Republic of China, Honorable Ministers, Vice Ministers from invited countries, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It is a great honor for me to represent Myanmar at this year's Expo Asia 2025. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region for hosting these important events and for their continuous leadership in advancing green innovation and regional cooperation. Expo Asia is an excellent platform for the nations to share experiences, showcase environmental solutions, and foster partnership for a more sustainable world. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Myanmar is a country blessed with rich biodiversity, abundant forests, fertile lands, and vast water resources. However, we also face profound environmental challenges like other countries. The impacts of climate change are continuing to threaten our people's livelihoods and ecosystems. Deforestation, land degradations, water pollution, and unmanaged waste are pressing concerns. Despite these challenges, the government of Myanmar remains steadfast in its commitment to achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda by integrating environmental considerations across all sectors through the national environmental policies, climate change policies, and master plan. National Waste Management Strategy, nationally determined contribution NDCs, and the National Plastic Management Action Plan 2026-2035. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Myanmar promotes climate resilience and climate-smart practices in agriculture, fisheries, and livestock, and is actively implementing adaptation measures to build climate resilience, protect people and natural capital, and safeguard our economy. Myanmar is striving to increase forest cover from 42.19%, its equivalents to 28.5 million hectares, to 50% through sustainable restoration of degraded forests, habitat revitalizations, and climate mitigation, ensuring biodiversity recovery for long-term ecosystem health. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we have also drafted the Green Economy Policy Framework to enhance responsible investment in a low-carbon, green economy development strategy that prioritizes the efficient use of natural resources. Myanmar is exploring opportunities for carbon markets, green finance mechanisms, and regional cooperation on clean energy transitions. By pursuing carbon neutrality, we not only mitigate emissions, but also lay the foundation for a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable economy that benefits both people and the planet. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, waste management is one of the most urgent environmental priorities. Rapid population growth and urbanization have led to increasing waste generation, straining our existing system. In response, Myanmar has formulated the National Waste Management Strategy and Action Plan. In order to address plastic pollution, Myanmar has developed the National Plastic Management Action Plan, which addresses the plastic through their life cycle and promote a resource-efficient economy, including the gradual phase-off of single-use plastic and introduction of voluntary extended procedures. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate the future, green innovation holds tremendous potential in reducing carbon emission and creating a sustainable future. In this regard, Expo Asia 2025 provides a quality platform for the trades to grasp the new momentum for green growth by showcasing their latest green and decarbonization. This meeting provides a valuable platform to exchange experiences, strengthen joint efforts, and advance sustainable development. Let us continue to work hand in hand to build a greener, cleaner, and resilient Asia. I once again extended my heartfelt thanks to the Hong Kong SAR government and the organizer of Expo Asia 2025 for their warm hospitality and for providing this valuable platform for collaborations and inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Mr. King Mong-yi. Please be seated. May we now invite His Excellency Dr. Dhammika Padabandi, the Honorable Minister of Environment, Sri Lanka. His Excellency Dr. Dhammika Padabandi, please.
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor to address this esteemed gathering at Expo Asia 2025 under the inspiring theme, Green Innovations for Carbon Neutrality. I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to the government of the Hong Kong Special Administration Region and the organizers for providing this valuable platform to share ideas and innovations for a sustainable future. Sri Lanka, as a developing island nation, is deeply conscious of the urgent need to address climate change and environmental degradation. Despite facing economic and development challenges, we have remained steadfast in our commitment to a sustainable, low carbon, and climate resilient pathway. Our approach is guided by our national determined contributions, NDCs. Under the Paris Agreement, Sri Lanka ratified the Paris Agreement in 2016 and has since developed 3 generations of NDCs, each one progressively more ambitious and action-oriented. The NDC 3.0, currently being implemented for the period 2026 to 2035, focuses strongly on green innovations, renewable energy, sustainable transport, circular economic models, and ecosystem restoration, which is all aimed at achieving carbon neutrality in the long term. Sri Lanka's NDC 3.0 introduces transformative measures to reduce greenhouse gases (GHG) emissions across 6 key mitigation sectors. First, energy, expanding renewable energy to reach 70% of power generation by 2030 and beyond, promoting green hydrogen with enhancing grid integration of renewables. Second, transport, electrifying public and private transport, promoting non-motorized mobility, and establishing a robust EV ecosystem. Third, industry, encouraging cleaner production, energy efficiency improvements, and green technology adoption in manufacturing. Fourth, waste management, implementing waste-to-energy systems, composting, and circular waste solution. Fifth, agriculture, forestry, and land use, promoting climate-smart agriculture and large-scale tree planting under the National Green Economy Initiative. Sixth, cross-cutting innovations, fostering research, digital monitoring, and private sector partnerships to drive low-carbon development. Through these actions, we aim to reduce our GHG emissions significantly by 2035 while stimulating innovations and green job creation. Equally important is our work in building climate resilience. Sri Lanka is highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, rising temperatures, erratic rainfalls, floods, and droughts. Our NDC 3.0 adaptation component strengthens resilience in 9 sectors, including water, agriculture, health, fisheries, coastal zones, and biodiversity. We are integrating nature-based solutions and ecosystem restoration into our adaptation strategies. Mangrove restoration, river basin management, and reforestation not only protect our natural heritage, but also serve as a carbon sinks. Additionally, we are improving early warning systems, community-based adaptation, and disaster risk reduction, ensuring that no community is left behind in our climate journey. Sri Lanka firmly believes that global partnerships and green financing mechanisms are essential to achieving climate neutrality. We also welcome collaboration in green technology transfer, capacity building, and innovation exchange, recognizing that tackling climate change requires collective global effort. Over the past decades, Sri Lanka has made notable progress in environmental protection and sustainability. We have expanded renewable energy generation, strengthening biodiversity conservation, enhanced solid waste management, and advanced national policies on circular economy and green finance. We are here today to share our experience, our successes, challenges, and lessons learned in striving towards a carbon neutral and climate resilient future. We are equally eager to learn from our friends and partners around the world, especially the pioneering innovations emerging from Asia. As we move forward, a new era for green transformation, our collective actions will define the legacy we leave for future generations. Sri Lanka envisions a future where economic prosperity coexists with environmental harmony, a future powered by innovation, cooperation, and sustainability. Let us continue to inspire one another and transform our shared visions of carbon neutrality into reality through green innovations that unite nations, protect our planet, and empower our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, His Excellency Dr. Dhamika Padabandi. Please be seated. May we now invite Mr. Jocelyn Marcus Vergada, Undersecretary, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Philippines. Mr. Jocelyn Marcus Vergada, please.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, to all officials, a pleasant morning to everyone. It is an honor to address you today on behalf of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Government of the Philippines. Let me begin by extending our sincere appreciation to Environment and Ecology Bureau of Hong Kong and the Hong Kong Trade Development Council for convening this important gathering. Expo Asia continues to serve as a key platform for governments, industry, civil society, and individuals to share knowledge, forge partnerships, and co-create sustainable solutions for our shared future. The Philippines comes to this year's Expo held under the theme Green Innovations for Carbon Neutrality, with renewed hope and determination to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to global environmental stewardship and to strengthen the bridges of cooperation among our countries and communities. Our message is clear. The Philippines stands ready to work with partners to accelerate the green transition through investment, innovation, and inclusive growth. We all live in a time of great complexity. Climate change and environmental risks are no longer distant threats. They are present realities. They have become inextricably linked to economic and social vulnerabilities globally. As the Philippines prepares to assume the chairmanship of ASEAN in 2026, we are committed to advancing regional cooperation and climate action, environmental resilience, and carbon neutrality, aligned with ASEAN's broader vision for sustainable and inclusive development. In our country, we continue to face the compounding and cascading impacts of climate change, which affect millions of lives each year. These are interconnected crises that demand a just, science-based, and inclusive transition, one that places people, planet, and prosperity as its core. Although we contribute less than 0.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions, we remain among the most climate-vulnerable countries in the world. However, we are committed to leading by example. Under the leadership of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., renewable energy has been placed at the center for our national climate agenda, and we are scaling up the use of hydropower, geothermal, solar, and wind energy. As the world accelerates towards cleaner technologies, we are also aligned our policies, regulations, and investments with this global shift. The Philippines Development Plan 2023 to 2028 outlines a low-carbon, climate-resilient development pathway rooted in environmental justice and a whole-of-society approach. Through our nationally determined contribution, we aim to reduce and avoid emissions by 75% by 2030 across the sectors of agriculture, waste, industry, transport, and energy, with 2.71% of that targeted being unconditional. The Philippine Energy Plan 2023 to 2050 also provides a clear roadmap for sustainable energy future. Our goal is to reach a 35% share of renewables in our energy mix by 2030 and 50% by 2040. To achieve this, we are not only expanding clean energy capacities, but also promoting energy efficient across sectors from industry to households. Our commitment to sustainability extends beyond mitigation. We are aggressively tackling solid waste and plastic pollution. the implementation of the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, and the extended producer's responsibility. The EPR law mandates larger corporations to recover 80% of their plastic packaging waste by 2028. A bold step towards embedding circularity into our economy, these laws are institutionalizing waste segregation, resource recovery, and diversion at the community level. We have also launched cross-sectoral programs that link environmental sustainability with economic growth, social equity, and innovation. Through the Government of the Philippines' Build Better More program, we are also advancing nature-positive, climate-resilient infrastructure. For our country, sustainable development is essential, and the road to carbon neutrality will not be paved by technology alone, but by justice, inclusivity, and a moral duty to future generations. We stand ready to collaborate, lead, and contribute meaningfully to this global transformation. We welcome deeper partnerships with other like-minded countries and stakeholders who share our vision and urgency. They say that every fraction of a degree matters, but for the Philippines, so does every action. We are ready to act, to lead, and to partner with all of you. Together, let us move from words to action, from commitments to results, and from hope to transformation. Thank you, and a pleasant week to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Jocelyn Marquez Vergada. Please be seated. May we now invite Her Excellency Ms. Chandida, Undersecretary of State of the Ministry of Environment, Cambodia. Her Excellency Ms. Chandida, please.
Excellency, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. It is my great honor to join the Expo Asia 2025 under the theme of Green Innovation for Carbon Neutrality. On behalf of the Ministry of Environment Cambodia, I extend our sincere gratitude to the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region for convening this special event and for their consistent support to ASEAN in addressing critical environmental concerns, particularly climate change. Climate change is a global crisis that demands immediate and united action. Although Cambodia is one of the lowest greenhouse gas emitters in the world, we are highly vulnerable to its impact. These impacts are already threatening our planet and humanity, and they pose a direct challenge to our national development goals. As a member of ASEAN, Cambodia is seriously ramping up its response. Under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Ieng Suphalat, Minister of Environment Cambodia, we submitted our third nationally determined contribution, NDC 3.0, on August 8, 2025. This plan reaffirms our commitment to the Paris Agreement and firmly set our national goal of achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. Our NDC 3.0 outlines a clear path to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 55% by 2035 compared to a business-as-usual scenario. This ambitious plan includes 163 priority actions across mitigation, adaptation, and enabling measures. We have also adopted the Cambodia Climate Change Strategic Plan 2024-2033 to guide our long-term effort to fight against climate change. Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 years, the Ministry of Environment Cambodia has successfully launched major national campaigns to mobilize the public participation such as Today I Don't Use Plastic Bag, launched in September 2023. This successful campaign to reduce plastic use has involved over 14 million people, including students, teachers, religious leaders, and factory workers. Clean Cambodia Khmer Can Do, Launched in May 2024, this campaign ran in parallel with our anti-plastic initiative and include a specific initiative to clean up plastic pollution in the Tonle Sap. Punlok Bai Tong is a nationwide campaign to plant at least 3 million trees per year to expand our forest cover and protect our natural resources. The fight against climate change demands our united effort. On this important platform of Expo Asia 2025, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to this crucial cause. Cambodia is ready to act and to partner with the international community, the private sector, and civil society. Together, we can accelerate action to fight against climate change and build a Cambodia and a world that is resilient, sustainable, and thrive in harmony with nature. We look forward to the outcome of this Expo and working with all of you for a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable future for all. I thank you.
Thank you, Her Excellency, Ms. Michandida. Please be seated. May we now invite Mr. Mohamed Hajahu Maksud Jahadi, Secretary of Local Government Division, Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives, Bangladesh. Mr. Mohamed Hajahu Maksud Jahadi, please.
No need. Okay. They make it space. Okay. Thank you very much. Honorable Vice Minister, Minister of Ecology and Environment of the People's Republic of China, Honorable Secretary for Ministry of Environment and Ecology, Government of Hong Kong, SAR, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, very good morning. Today it is a great pleasure for us to share the Government of Bangladesh vision and actions for addressing our pressing environmental and climate challenges that affect the lives, health, livelihood of our people. As you know, Bangladesh is considered one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. Bangladesh ranked 7th among the countries affected most in 2019 all over the world due to climate change. Though its contribution to global warming is negligible, less than 0.35% of global emissions, the country is impacted by all adversities of climate change. We are the worst climate victims, not the contributors. To tackle all these challenges, adversities of the climate change, integration, policy, capacity, institutional capacity, engagement will be instrumental and crucial for mitigating and adopting climate change impact all over the country and all over the world. Let me begin with sharing the complex set of environmental challenges Bangladesh government is facing now. Air pollution remains one of the most serious threats of public health. Emissions from brick kilns, transport, industry, and open burning of waste contribution to dangerously high pollution levels. Our rivers and canals are also under immense pressure from untreated industrial effluents, sewage, and chemical runoff. Access to safe drinking water remains a challenge in many areas, with issues such as arsenic and bacterial contamination poisoning significant risks. Plastic pollution has emerged as another critical issue for government of Bangladesh. Despite our early ban on polythene, single-use plastic continue to flood our cities and waterways. Waste collection efficiency averages only around 52%, and most urban local bodies lack sanitary landfill sites. It is the problem for the Bangladesh. At the same time, we are witnessing ecosystem degradation, especially in the Sundarbans. It's the UNESCO heritage which faces industrial encroachment, pollution, saltwater intrusion. Our coastal zones are increasingly vulnerable to sea level rise. You know, cyclones, saline intrusion, while climate change amplifies this risk through rising sea level temperature and frequent disasters. However, the environmental pressures are not being unattended. The government has taken decisive steps to address this concern. That is one, our policy, environmental conservation policy rules have been implemented 2023, enacted under the Bangladesh Environmental Conservation Act of 1995 to provide a comprehensive framework for safeguarding the environment in Bangladesh, rapid industrialization and urbanizations. It has strengthened classification, compliance, and monitoring of industry to curb pollution at sources. Clean air is a public health imperative and economic necessity. The Bangladesh National Air Quality Management Plan 2024 to 2030 has been developed as a strategy to reduce air pollution and meet World Health Organization standards. Key goals include strengthening air quality governance, cutting emissions from sector in industry, transport, and brick-kilns, and improving the real-time air quality monitoring network. New industrial venture has been banned within 10 kilometers of the Sundarbans, the UNESCO heritage, ecologically critical area, and enforcement has been strengthened against illegal polythene production and the use of single-use plastic. Mobile courts are operating nationwide to seize banned materials and close non-compliant factories. The aim of Plastic Waste Management Action Plan is to recycle 50% of plastic waste and eliminate 90% of single-use plastic by 2026. Urban local governments are reviving water bodies. Dhaka North, Dhaka South city corporations have already degraded over 100 kilometers of canals with more to be completed by 2025. We are also promoting green energy, mandating solar panels in public buildings to reduce dependency on imported fuels. I want to mention here the Singapore, Sri Lanka is the topmost 40% solar renewable energy are using now. In our country, it is now only 6%. So the government is making a policy. By 2030, we have to use 30%, and 2041, we have to increase 50%. That is the great opportunity for the other countries to invest in Bangladesh about the green energy and solar energy also. Allow me to highlight a few points on action plan for combating climate change and achieving carbon neutrality. Bangladesh National Adaptation Plan 2023-2050 layouts long-term, sector-by-sector priorities, protecting people and assets for climate shocks, safeguarding ecosystem and investing in resilient agriculture, infrastructure, and urban system. It shares national adaptation goals and a pipeline of priority programs that translate strategy into implementations. As a low-emitting, climate-vulnerable country, our priority is resilient development and high-quality growth that steadily lowers the carbon intensity of our economy. Bangladesh is actively exploring net zero pathways in partnership with development partners like China, Hong Kong, and other development partners, interested and informed by new analysis and consultation. The direction of travel, more renewable, more efficiency, cleaner transport, greener, and underpinned by technology transfer and climate changes. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, let me share some thoughts on the way forward to these challenges. While we have made progress, challenges remain. Effective enforcement, adequate financing, interagency collaboration and coordination, public awareness are crucial. We must also strengthen the capacity of local government institutions to implement these policies on the ground where the impacts are most visible. In conclusion, our environmental and climate journey is not just a mitigation and adaptation. It is about ensuring dignity, health, and opportunity for every citizen. I wish a resounding success of Eco Asia Expo 2025. Thank you all for patience hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mahamu Hajahu Maksu Jahedi. Please be seated. May we now invite Ms. Mariam Alzabi, Head of Environmental Affairs, Ministry of Climate Change and Environment, United Arab Emirates. Ms. Mariam Alzabi, please.
Thank you, everyone. Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great pleasure and honor to join you here in Hong Kong for Eco Expo Asia 2025. And I would like to thank the organizers for bringing together governments, innovators, and businesses from across the region to advance one of the most important causes of our time, protecting our planet while building resilient, inclusive economies. It is a privilege to represent the United Arab Emirates to share how we are translating climate ambition into action, protecting our environment today, while accelerating a just, orderly, and inclusive transition to net zero by 2050. Our context, turning challenges into innovation. The United Arab Emirates' unique geography and climate make us deeply aware of the risks posed by environmental degradation and climate change. Rising temperatures, water scarcity, coastal vulnerability, and rapid urbanization all shape our approach. These challenges do not discourage us. They define our urgency and inspire innovation. They push us to integrate science, policy, and finance so that we deliver tangible outcomes at both pace and scale. With regards to our policy architecture, the UAE has developed a comprehensive policy framework that connects environmental protection, economic growth, and climate neutrality. UAE Net Zero 2050 sets the national pathway for a carbon-neutral economy, aligning all sectors: energy, industry, transport, buildings, and waste. Our enhanced nationally determined contribution strengthens both mitigation and adaptation through clear governance and transparent reporting. The National Energy Strategy of 2050 drives clean electricity efficiency and the adoption of green hydrogen, supported by grid flexibility and storage. Policies only matter when it moves markets. That is why we are developing standards, data, systems, and sustainable finance frameworks, including green taxonomies and disclosure guidelines, to direct capital confidently toward credible green projects. With regards to the road to carbon neutrality, reaching neutrality means transforming how we produce energy, move people and goods, and build our cities. Our approach includes power sector decarbonization through rapid solar expansion, clear power integration, and efficiency programs supported by smart grids. Industrial transformation through electrification, efficiency upgrades, low carbon fuels, and carbon capture and storage where appropriate. Clean mobility via fleet electrification, enhanced public transport, and low-emission logistics corridors. Sustainable buildings and cooling, including retrofits, district cooling, and digital energy management to reduce peak demand. And a strong focus on innovation and R&D, particularly in green hydrogen, sustainable material, and advanced recycling. The transition is guided by the principles of a just transition, protecting jobs, supporting small and medium enterprises, and ensuring that decarbonization strengthens competitiveness and opportunity. From linear to circular. Managing waste as a resource in the UAE is no longer viewed merely as a management issue, but as an economic and resource opportunity. We are advancing segregation and collection systems that improve material quality at source, high-value recycling and industrial symposium that return materials to productive use, waste-to-energy products were environmentally sound and integrated with recycling hierarchies. No country can achieve these goals alone. The UAE is deepening cooperation with governments, multilateral institutions, investors, and innovators across Asia and the Belt and Road region. We invite technology providers, investors, and researchers to partner with us on pilot projects and scales up. Colleagues, the transition we seek is not one single technology or policy. It is an ecosystem of collaboration and trust. The UAE remains committed to aligning ambition with implementation and implementation with international cooperation. We thank Hong Kong and Eco-Asia community for convening this vital dialogue, and we look forward to working with you, turning ideas into investment and investments into enduring environmental outcomes for the future of our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mariam Al-Zabi. Please be seated. May we now invite Mr. Serkan Kalkamanov, Chairman of the Management Board, International Green Technologies and Investment Project Center, Kazakhstan. Mr. Serkan Kalkamanov, please.
Hello, everyone. Please prepare your translation devices. Уважаемые участники сессии, дамы и господа, позвольте мне зачитать приветственное слово министра экологии и природных ресурсов Республики Казахстан господина Ерлана Насамбаева. Уважаемые участники сессии, прежде всего позвольте выразить благодарность правительству специального административного района Гонконг и Совету по развитию торговли Гонконга за организацию данной важной платформы для международного диалога. Сотрудничество между Казахстаном и Китаем в сфере экологии и устойчивого развития в последние годы вышло на качественный новый уровень. Отношения между странами развиваются в духе доверия и прагматизма, что находит отражение в совместных инициативах, предприятиях и инвестиционных проектах, направленных на формирование зеленого региона. И это партнерство продолжает развиваться. Следует отметить недавнее вхождение Международного центра зеленых технологий и инвестиционных проектов Казахстана в качестве сопредседателя в Альянс по инновациям в области низкоуглеродных технологий в рамках инициативы «Один пояс, один путь». Центр является институциональным оператором, ответственным за содействие зеленой трансформации в Казахстане. Еще одним практическим шагом стало подписание Центром соглашения с Шанхайским центром научно-технических обменов. Это соглашение открывает казахстанской стороне прямой доступ к одной из крупнейших азиатских технологических платформ Green Technology Bank, что значительно ускоряет трансфер решений в области возобновляемой энергетики, управления отходами и водными ресурсами. Также Казахстан последовательно реализует стратегические шаги по переходу к зеленой экономике, рассматривая ее как ключевой элемент экологической модернизации. Основой этой работы стал новый экологический кодекс, принятый в Казахстане в 2021 году. Кодекс внедряет принципы наилучших доступных техник. Крупнейшие промышленные предприятия страны, включая секторы металлургии, энергетики, нефтегазовой, установлены для них четкая обязанность провести технологическую модернизацию до 2035 года. Таким образом, в Казахстане формируется долгосрочный законодательно закрепленный спрос на зеленые технологии, инжиниринговые услуги и современное оборудование. Развивая этот диалог, хочу отметить, что в Казахстане идет активно подготовка к проведению регионального экологического саммита, который пройдет в Астане 22-24 апреля 2026 года с участием глав государств Центральной Азии. Данный саммит, инициированный Казахстаном на 78-й сессии Генеральной Ассамблеи Организации Объединенных Наций и поддержанный международным сообществом, призван стать центральной площадкой для диалога и совместных действий, направленных на формирование устойчивого будущего. Ключевым практическим мероприятием саммита станет международная выставка зеленых технологий, практическая платформа для трансформации политического диалога саммита в конкретные бизнес-решения. Главная цель – продемонстрировать зеленые технологии и готовые к внедрению проекты для привлечения инвестиций и трансферта технологий в ключевые сектора экономики стран Центральной Азии. Также в рамках выставки, помимо возможности представить свои павильоны и демонстрировать свои проекты, услуги и технологии, будет организована конференционная программа и расширенный B2B пакет. Пользуясь этой возможностью, от имени Министерства экологии и природных ресурсов Республики Казахстан приглашаю компании и технологических партнеров, присутствующих в этом зале, рассмотреть участие в региональном экологическом саммите и международной выставке 2026. Желаю всем участникам сессии плодотворной работы и успешных переговоров. Благодарю за внимание.
Thank you, Mr. Sekan Kakamanov. Please be seated. May we now invite Dr. Wing Kok Kan, Deputy Director General, Vietnam Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology and Climate Change, Vietnam. Dr. Wing Kok Kan, please.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam is among the countries most severely affected by climate change. In recent years, we have witnessed an increasing number of extreme weather events. Sea level rise, saltwater intrusion, and soil erosion, which have a serious effective livelihood, natural resources, and socio-economic development. In the face of these challenges, the government of Vietnam have identified the need for climate change response as one of the top strategic priorities for national development. Vietnam has issued a national adaptation plan for 2024 to 2030, which set out 161 priority actions across 6 major areas. One, strengthening the resilience of infrastructure and urban systems. Second, promoting climate resilience, agriculture, forestry, and fishery. 3, managing water, land, and ecosystem resource sustainable. 4, ensuring social welfare, health, and gender equality. 5, enhancing science, technology, and education. 6, expanding international cooperation and disaster risk management. By the 2030, the strategy aims to complete the national legal framework and fully integrate climate adaptation into own development strategy, planning, and socio-economic programs. Vietnam has continuously improved its institutional and policy framework to deliver on the commitment to achieve net zero emission by 2050, announced by Prime Minister and COP26. First, Vietnam has promulgated the National Climate Change Strategy to 2050, which defines a long-term vision of a low-carbon economy, enhanced climate resilience, and protection of people and ecosystem against climate risk. Second, the country is accelerating its green energy transition and the establishment of a domestic carbon market. Renewable energy now accounts for about 54% of total installed capacity, with solar and wind energy playing an increasing vital role. Vietnam is implementing the Just Energy Transition Partnership, ZETP, with international partners to ensure that transition is transparent, equitable, and beneficial to all citizens. Vietnam Wind Pilot is a domestic carbon market during 2025 to 2027 and move toward full operation by 2028. At the same time, the country is advancing bilateral cooperation under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, including partnership with Singapore, the Republic of Korea, and Switzerland for the exchange of carbon credits. Third, Vietnam continue to promote green growth and the circular economy as stipulated in the law on environment protection of 2020, which introduced extend producer responsibility EPR, encourage recycling and reuse, and aim of the reduce single-use plastic. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Wing King. Please be seated. May we now invite Dr. Naruf Kotamov, Director of the Scientific and Information Center of the Interstate Commission on Sustainable Development in Pakistan, Committee for Environmental Protection under the Government of Pakistan. Dr. Naruf Kotamov, please.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, on behalf of the government of Tajikistan, I would like to thank the organizers of this expo. So good morning, distinguished panel, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends. It's an honor to join you at this forum where ideas, innovation, and investment meet to shape a more sustainable future. Tajikistan is a small country with a large responsibility. Our mountains contain over 60% of Central Asia's freshwater resources, and the health of our glaciers directly affects the water security of the region. Yet the same glaciers are retreating rapidly. One of our largest glaciers in the world has already lost more than 1 kilometer of length. So these impacts are real and they're urgent. But Tajikistan has chosen not to stand still. We have integrated climate adaptation into national planning, strengthened science-based policy, and expanded our environmental monitoring systems. We are actively improving institutional capacity and widening access to international climate finance. Tajikistan contributes very little to global emissions, yet we are among the few developing countries that have committed to long-term pathways toward carbon neutrality. Today, more than 92% of Tajikistan's electricity already comes from the renewable hydropower, and with continued development of newer power plants, we are on track not to only meet our domestic clean energy needs, but also become a reliable exporter of renewable power across the Central Asian region. Tajikistan is also known for its leadership in water and cryosphere diplomacy. Over the last 2 decades, we have initiated 5 major UN resolutions on water cooperation and climate resilience. Most recently, 2025 has been declared the International Year of Glaciers, with March 21 recognized as the World Glacier Day. These initiatives are not symbolic. They're frameworks that connect science, policy, community mobilization, and international funding mechanisms. Yet, one of the most promising new areas for our green transition, where partnerships can deliver both environmental benefits and strong economic return, is waste management. Our new national strategy for waste life cycle management till year 2040 shifts the paradigm from disposal to circular economy. We are transforming waste into a recoverable resource and turning environmental challenges into opportunities for green industry growth. To support this transition, Tajikistan is opening the sector to public-private partnerships. We are creating favorable investment conditions through tax and tariff incentives, access to concessional financing, and regulatory modernization. We are commercializing waste sorting, recycling, composting, biogas production, and landfill modernization. We are actively seeking technological collaboration in areas such as electronic waste processing, medical waste sterilization, and methane capture systems. Tajikistan offers a stable political environment and clear long-term policy direction. Our approach is collaborative. We are prepared to work with international technology developers, infrastructure investors, energy companies, and environmental service providers. We welcome joint ventures, concession agreements, and PPP models. Ladies and gentlemen, Tajikistan is not only protecting nature, we are building a future where sustainability and economic development reinforce each other. We are building a green economy, and we are inviting responsible investors to help shape it. Our message is clear. Tajikistan is open to eco-investment. We are ready to work together, to innovate together, and to grow together. Thank you very much. I look forward to meeting many of you during discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naruf Kadamul. Please be seated. May we now invite Mr. Frenuvensi, Deputy Director of the Division of Bilateral Cooperation, Department of Planning and Cooperation, Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, Lao PDR, please.
His Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. It is a great honor to me as a representative from Lao People Democratic Republic at this important gathering of the governments and partners committed to environmental sustainability and carbon neutrality. On behalf of Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, I would like to express my appreciation to organizer of the Eco-Asia Conference to provide this platform for dialogue and cooperation. Laos is pursuing ambitious yet practical path toward a sustainable, low-carbon future. Over the past decade, our government has strengthened the nationality policy framework for climate and environment management. The Climate Change Decree 2019 established for the foundation for integrating climate consideration across all sectors, from nation, socio-economic development plans to local infrastructure initiatives. This decree provides clear mechanisms for monitoring, coordination, and reporting issues for our national climate goals and strategy. Under our update, nationally determined contribution 2.0. Laos has to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% by 2030 compared to the 2020 baseline, with the long-term goals of achieve net zero emissions by 2050. In this year, we are developing NDC 3.0, which will enhance this target to outline new action with the support of our development partners, including UNDP, the NDC partners, and others. For the policy supporting carbon neutrality, our circular economy strategy developed with the UNDP support shows that shifting toward resource efficiency could help Laos achieve carbon neutrality even earlier, possibly by 2040. We are promoting sustainable forestry, efficiency agriculture, and green transport as cornerstone of this transition. Green finance policy framework with technical assistance from the International Finance Corporation. We have also updated key legislation, including the environmental protection laws and forestry law, and introduced the degree of the conservation forest in last year to safeguard biodiversity risk area and enhance ecosystem resilience. Progress and achievement. Lao forest cover now stands at 62%, reflecting major effects in reforestation, sustainable management, and conservation. Our plastic waste management plan in this year promoted extended producer responsibility scheme, encourage over 50 business and take responsibility for post-consumer plastic waste. In the energy sector, while hydropower continue to play the dominant role, we are diversifying into solar and wind power to improve. Sorry, it doesn't work. To improve energy security and reduce emission. Several large and small-scale solar projects are under construction, with cross-border wind projects expected to be operated in this year. Laos challenges and the way forward. Like many developing nations, Laos faces challenges in balanced economic development with environment protection, limited domestic finance, capacity building, constraint, and cross-sector coordination remain key obstacles. My conclusion is, Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Laos reaffirms its commitment to protect environment, combating climate change and advancing toward carbon neutrality by 2050. We stand ready to collaborate with our ASEAN member country, and Belt and Road partners to share experience, mobilize innovation, deliver practical solutions, and thus benefit our people and planet. Last but not least, I wish all of you good health and success in your professional and personal endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vannuvensi. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Eco-Asia Conference Government session.